Hey guys, it's Curtis coming to you with another Kerbal Space Program challenge from Reddit. This time I am knocking out week 33, which is to get a small engine, whether it be the Poodle or one of the other small efficiency engines. Get a rocket with just those or Separtons into to land on Dress. So that's what I'm doing. This took 36 engines, all Poodle, attached to the tanks that I did have, which unfortunately I haven't been able to get science-wise any of the stuff that I'd wanted. So I think I'm still only in the 4th tier of science by now. But, you know, it was able to get everything up and running, and I have some science stuff that I'll be sending as well. This is going to be a single trip because it took me, I don't know, 16, 18 hours to get all this done. I wasn't going to spend that much more time on it. Maybe at another time I'll end up doing the challenge of getting it back to Dress as well. We'll see. You saw me changing around some of the staging. The asparagus staging, I found out the fuel is a little bit uneven. So instead of wasting fuel, I had to sit there with extra tanks on, and you know it kind of slows the drag down a bit, but. In the end, I ended up getting where I needed to go. Yeah. Also, I didn't have any solar panels, which I guess in the vanilla version it doesn't matter near as much because you're not dealing with life support and things like that. But I had originally made this flight with a probe, and it died like halfway there. So. That's actually why all those batteries are on there. Also, something else to note is that at this point I still don't have RCS, and so every maneuver that I do, I had to do with the rockets going. I could have used a reaction wheel, but I was worried about electricity, which didn't end up needing to be worried about, but you know, it is what it is. See, I'm just the maneuvering is standard stuff here. I just kind of tinker around. This is my first time to Dress as well, so until I landed there, I didn't even know what the place looked like. I mean, I probably could have checked it out online, but you know, I like to be surprised by things, and this was definitely a surprise. So, you know, in doing these challenges, this is now my first time to Duna, and my first time to Dress. Excuse me. Okay, anyways, having cleared my throat, as I was saying, this is my first time to Dress, and one of the last videos, it was my first time to Duna, so I was kind of excited about that. Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so these challenges has really let me branch out quite a bit, and I'm pretty excited with how things have been going. Okay, this part is pretty boring for you guys. It's just me doing some maneuvering. Nothing too special. I don't know why I did a full spin there. I think I was trying to find my node. Yeah, that's what it was. Anyways, I think one of the other challenges is to go to Lathe, and another one's to go to the sun and like land in the sun, or the hard mode is to drop a solar probe into the sun that doesn't have an engine. I may end up doing that, because that doesn't sound like it's too terribly hard. But then again, I've never done this. So, and I think actually that the fuel that I have on this, I could probably use the Dress Limited to do that solar burn once I have the clamps that I'll need to do said maneuver. Anyways, so this is standard maneuvering. I really look forward to lathe. Again, don't know where it's at. Don't know where any of this stuff's at. Just kind of learn it as I go. Also, I'm chomping at the bit with those asteroids or comets or any other unidentified object that it might possibly be. I really want to do a video about that, but you know, they're all over the web at the moment, so I'll bide my time. Also, I don't know how efficient this path is. I'm sure that there's something that's a little bit better that I could be doing, but I haven't. And the reason for that is I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants on this. So, time acceleration until I get to that node. And, you know, something that I was amazed about was even though there's, you know, each one of these tanks is 8 tanks and then a Poodle engine, or actually it might not be a Poodle, it might be the LV901 or whatever, I don't remember. But it's one of the small engines. It's one of the 3 that was suggested. The thing is really efficient. I was kind of surprised because, you know, being a higher level engine with a lower level fuel tank, I figured that it would consume it, you know, pretty fast, but it didn't, and I'm kind of really happy about that. Also, I've noticed that when you're maneuvering in space, it's best to stay in this view because with all of the grand changes, I guess, you know, even the most minuscule miss is enough to wreck everything, or you know, use up hundreds, if not thousands, of delta V. So here I'm doing a little bit more maneuvering. I'm trying to get a little bit closer in to dress. You know, it's basic stuff. Also, I apologize. My last video I said that the next video would be airplanes, and it's not. The reason for that is I'm really horrible at airplane construction. More so than rocket construction. You know, the good thing about rockets is that you only have to go up in the beginning, you know, and you don't have. I mean, you have to worry about aerodynamics and things like that, but it's not near as bad as a plane, because a plane, you know, if I don't know. If the gel capsule, the spherical container, whatever it's called, looks like a can. Anyways, if that's placed wrong, then you might be pushing upwards, or the weight might be distributed wrong, and you might start spinning. Or there was actually one I created a rather stable plane, I thought, and all my testing, it went fine. And then when I finally made the journey that I needed to make towards the second Kerbal station, when I started to descend, the thing just went into a spin, and I could never recover, and I ended up crashing. And thankfully, it was just a probe, because all of my practices are probes, and I wanted to do one passover before I finished it, and that didn't work out so well. Alright, so this is your standard orbiting maneuver, just at a much higher speed. At this point, all those main tanks are gone, which, you know, I guess I was really lucky because not knowing what I'm doing, I could have wasted a lot more fuel than what I did. And I still ended up using up just about everything, if I remember correctly. And so there goes the main fuel tank with most of the batteries. This is when I started to get worried. I realized that this is a really big orbit. But any standard burn would bring me a lot closer, a lot faster. Also, being the dutiful Kerbal that Curtis is, he decides he wants to start spamming some science. Because even though he's probably not going to make it off this rock, he might as well give something back. So now I'm just kind of narrowing my orbit because, well, I mean, that was what, like 40 million kilometers away, or 40 million meters. I don't know. It was really friggin' big orbit. Sorry, I'm also eating peanuts. So this is actually me doing a few passes because, as I said, I hadn't looked up anything about dress, so I didn't realize it doesn't have an atmosphere. So this is me basically going, you know, in fractions of 10,000 meters, getting around the planet to see if I could aero brake in, and it seems to me that I can't. But I figured I might as well, again, try and get some science. Because at this point I'm actually really worried about fuel. As I've noted before, I am not a very efficient flyer. Also, you know, I wasn't extremely prepared for anything. And so any fuel consumption is bad. Now, when I finally do end up doing this, when I finally do end up landing, I end up taking into account something that Scott Manley did, which was he said something about you know, things that don't have any atmosphere. The best thing to do and especially with a low gravity situation, is to come in as vertical as you possibly can and kill the velocity in large bursts. And it has something to do with the efficacy of the engine and some such. I don't remember off the top of my head. So I actually do a lot of blasting really close to kind of kill off my velocity. I also want to note, dress looks a lot like Moon. I mean, so Duna was red, which was cool. There's more science. Duna was red, which was cool. Minmus is green. I know one of the planets is purple, I think. But then you've got this guy. He's just gray. And I mean, that's fine. It's just not that exciting, because we've had gray. And no offense to Squad. Squad, you are a fantastic company, and this is actually probably what big planets would look like without any atmosphere or any sort of anything. But you know, I was just kind of sad. I was looking for, you know, some sort of fur-based something. Anyway, so there's touchdown, and Curtis is going to go ahead and grab some science, and while he does, I'm going to go ahead and wish you guys a happy weekend. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and in the words of Curtis, Small engines and big hearts. Farewell from Dress, and I'll see you guys later.